What is up, guys? This is Alex from F4F Figures.
Hi everyone, this is Chuckles.
Sega! What do we have here? Sonic 25th Anniversary! Yay! We practiced that quite a lot of times, actually. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's been a long journey.
As you know what? As you'll see further on in this documentary, the journey actually started on the 13th of March. 13th of May.
All right.
2015. What is up, guys? So when I say to you that
that's not bad, because like from the 20th anniversary to 25th anniversary, we had 5 years. So we only took like.
Well, you know, so we're currently working on the 30th anniversary. But yeah, absolutely, guys. When we actually say to you that it's been a long time in coming, it really is that case, because we have actually been working on him for a really long time, you know, since, as I said, May 2015. So to be able to finally be here and to show you him, and just, you know, in the 25th anniversary year, is something that we're very, very happy to finally be able to do. So yeah, guys, this is it. And as we said, it's so proud to be able to show you. Hopefully you like what you see, and you know, as we go through this documentary, you begin to understand a bit more about how it got here, what the sort of design choices we made, how we got to this stage, and you know, a bit more detail into all that information. So guys, keep watching.
Yeah, so I just want to shout, like, not shout, as in if you first time join us in this kind of these kind of documentary videos, we do this every single time when we launch a product, and always we post a thread inside the F4F Figures Collectors Club as well. So
where's that?
Well, that's F4F Figures Official Collectors Club on Facebook.
There you go.
So we'll normally post a thread, and then just allow you guys to ask us any questions, and then we'll go through all these questions in this documentary. You know, reasons of why, when, what, how, etc.
So we're here we made this video for you guys.
Yeah.
So you have the questions, we answer them, and you know, we'll put a link to the description below for the Facebook Collectors Club, for the F4F Figures Official Collectors Club. And so for future products, maybe you're interested in future Sonic products or any of the other licenses that we may hold that you might find interesting. It would be good to actually be in the club in order for you to get your questions out there.
And shout outs as well.
And shout outs as well.
There'll be a random comment in there, so the first 10 people that reply to that comment will get a shout out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, let's get this started.
Man, let's get this cracking.
Yeah.
Let's get this cracking. So yeah, I'm really excited to start that off. So what have we got then?
Can you start off with some questions, yeah?
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. I mean, the questions will then sort of spark the conversation for how we started with that.
All right then. Cool. All right. Do we do this little spinny?
Hey, let's give it a spinny.
Yeah.
As we're talking through the conversations.
All right.
And
you
there
found
we
that
go.
switch?
Yep,
All
got
right,
that switch.
cool.
Check it out, guys. This is starting to spin. I'm sure one of the first things that you would have seen, of course, is we talk about that infinity loop for the feet, and of course you have the signpost, and of course on the front you see 25th anniversary logo with classic pixelated Sonic, and as we're going round to the other side, check it out, guys, and there you can see Eggman on the back with the 25th anniversary. Thought you guys would like a bit of that, and we're going a bit more into detail on all those choices a little bit later on, but yeah, so really happy to show you guys that.
All right, let's start with the questions whilst this gets, gets viewed from all different
Absolutely,
angles.
let's get going.
Cool. All right, first question from Stephen Bennett. Why did you choose classic Sonic over modern Sonic?
Yeah, okay, so this was actually something that actually was asked for by Sega themselves. They actually said they wanted us to go with classic. So we actually sort of ran with that. Sorry about the figure of speech there. But yeah, we ran with the idea of going with classic Sonic instead of modern. And also, to be honest with you, 15th anniversary Sonic and 20th anniversary Sonic statues were modern Sonic.
Right.
So to actually go back to the original roots is the sort of, I think maybe that's what Sega was asking us to do, but certainly they actually requested us to go with classic Sonic. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we did 25th anniversary, so 20th anniversary, and that was classic. That was modern Sonic, obviously. Sorry. Yeah, so very happy to switch it up.
Awesome. Right. Right, next question from Jonathan Dixon, our admin. This piece depicts classic Sonic much bigger than he has been in other dioramas. What was the deciding factor in choosing this scale?
So, that's an interesting question. Shout out actually to Jonathan Dixon and Alex Arundo. There was actually a part of a sort of, the three of us spent quite a lot of time actually discussing on how to market, to develop this and design. So he's a bit more than just an admin for this piece. He's a massive Sonic fan, so his input and Alex's input were very, very important to the development of this piece. Now, we knew it was going to be classic Sonic because that was something that Sega requested. Now, making it classic Sonic meant that we had to consider the size of him versus the modern line. Now, if you consider the original, the single individual classic line, they're sort of 12 inches, something like that. But because you can see with this is some sort of diorama piece going on, it meant that we had to think of more elements than just the figure itself. We had to incorporate the stage, of course, to get that signpost, to get that base. We had to really consider the thing as an overall. So the size of it is actually bigger than the diorama classic Sonics. So if you think about our classic Sonic dioramas, what do we have there? We have Generations, which has both modern and classic, where you see modern is slightly, is bigger than classic, and you have Sonic on the Tornado. And again, when you look at those pieces, certainly in classic Sonic, he's quite small, because you have to consider for the Generations one that he is on a ramp and he's next to modern Sonic. And modern Sonic is that much bigger, and of course, when you come to the dioramas, it's much more about the overall sort of size and the piece and the whole feeling of it. Whereas when you go to the individual classic line, you're just focusing directly on the character itself, and the base is sort of smaller, but you're really focusing on the character. Because this is part of the diorama series, it made sense to consider the whole thing overall. And in there, you have the almost sort of equal pairing of the character itself as well as the environment to separate it from those classic or modern lines.
Because if you base this classic on the original classic size, the 12-inch one, the base would be so.
It would be incredibly big.
Bigger than this Lazy Susan.
Exactly right. So we had to sort of take away a lot of considerations from thinking about the modern line, the classic line, and then the diorama line, and how classic Sonic matches up in between those lines itself. So we did consider that it won't be exactly the same scale as classic Sonic from the other dioramas.
Because that would have made this really tiny,
small.
Really tiny.
Exactly. So we went for the sort of overall feeling that classic Sonic has in size, as the same sort of size as modern Sonic from the diorama series. It's sort of very slightly bigger than that, but overall, if you sort of put them all together, it kind of really blends together as part of the diorama series. And later on in this video, you will see just that, where we put them all together. So it was really quite a lot of back and forth in terms of thinking about which size to go for, and ultimately, when we think about the price and we think about the size and we think about the value for money and everything like that, the amalgamation of all of that is what you see right here. And hopefully you guys agree with how that came out.
Yeah, it's a nice size overall. Well.
It's a nice size. And something else that I noticed from being in the collectors club, there was a lot of people that maybe only collect one character from a line. A lot of people were saying that 25th anniversary Sonic, because we've been putting teasers in the club and people are beginning to understand what it looked like before we actually do this reveal now. A lot of people have actually been saying that they don't actually normally collect Sonic figures, but they like to have one piece that represents it. So when you think about that as well, to have that one piece, and they're saying the 25th anniversary would be that one piece, it's the perfect sort of size as a sort of a good sort of centerpiece for anything that might be classic Sonic or Sonic in itself. So absolutely, that was another consideration as well. We didn't want to go for it too small, and it couldn't be too big, just right.
Alright.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, next question from Ricky Underdog Powell. What was the factor to make this releasable to the public compared to the 20th?
Okay. So that was something that I actually had discussed with Sega when they contacted me all that time ago on the 13th of May, 2015. They said, hey, next year's our anniversary. I said, oh, glad you called us here. And we would like to discuss a 25th anniversary. And I had asked them because when we did the 20th anniversary, those who don't know, we were actually contacted by Sega back in, so it would have been 2000, maybe 2010. Something like that, to start working on a 20th anniversary version of Sonic, which ultimately people have now seen it in the wild. I'll put a picture of it here. And that one was actually only available for Sega, and Sega actually gave them away to different people. I believe there was 900 of the USA version, and maybe 100 of it might actually be the other way around. 100 of the USA version, and 900 of the of the EU version, and that was a difference of the image on the TV. And that actually became quite highly sought after because it was a piece that we made, and obviously we had a legacy at that stage of creating classic Sonic merchandise, and it was the first modern Sonic figure that we had made. And it was the time that when we made that, and you couldn't get it in the public, it wasn't available to be bought, it meant that the eBay prices sort of went very high up for that. So this one, very early on, was something that was
something that you didn't want to repeat. You wanted the fans to have a...
Well, it's not that we actually had a choice in the first one. That was something that Sega had actually contacted us to contractually make for them, design, manufacture, and produce in time for their celebrations. So that wasn't something that was about repeating or not. That was just a deal that had been made. So to now finally have the chance to create a 25th anniversary piece and to be able to put into public purchasing is great, because it doesn't make it exclusive to only getting it on really high prices on eBay. It's available for all. So in that respect, of course, I'm very happy about that. So I was absolutely very happy to hear that this was something that we could actually market ourselves.
All right, cool. So a statue, a Sonic, celebrated statue for everyone. Really.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Next question from Kevin Morgan. Would you say that this is your most ambitious Sonic statue? What was your biggest challenge designing this statue?
Okay, let's go back and talk a bit about... Let me just have a look at this. Look at my notes, because I have some notes to talk about this. Okay, this is a great question, because it's going to sort of talk about the history of this. I sort of briefly talked about it in the previous question, but now we really get into the nitty-gritty of what happened with this 25th anniversary design phase. So, is it the most ambitious product that we made in a classic Sonic line or any of the Sonic lines? And I would say absolutely. And when we go into the exclusive version, it will become clearer into the reason why we feel it's very ambitious. What I would also like to talk about is the difficulty that we had in actually getting here to what you're seeing here. So this really sort of goes back to the fact that we are sitting here with 25th anniversary, still in the 25th anniversary year of Sonic, but of course, in a perfect world, on Sonic's birthday, boom, that would have been the 23rd of June 2016, we would have had this up for pre-order. That would have been the ideal scenario, but we find ourselves not quite the 26th anniversary of Sonic. We still have a good few weeks to go. But clearly something happened for us to be delayed by a whole year. And I wanted to sort of talk a bit about that so people could understand a bit about the reasoning of how we got here and all that sort of stuff. So, as I talked about earlier, the 13th of May 2015, Sega got in contact with us and said about, let's talk about 25th anniversary. Of course, I was like, yes. And when I suggested, when we talked about whether or not it was going to be like the 20th anniversary and how that was very contract manufacturing just for Sega and very exclusive for Sega, and therefore leading to those eBay prices we just talked about, well, they said no, it was not going to be that case, and that we absolutely had the ability to market it and sell it accordingly. make it for general release, as we said earlier. When that happened, I asked Sega, would they be happy that we could actually propose the design and work with the community, because it was a 25th anniversary piece, and we're always been very receptive to fan feedback, to actually work together to create the final piece. And that was something that was really exciting to me, to actually be able to work directly with the fans to create that classic Sonic piece that was truly representative of a 25th anniversary.
Yeah, a collaboration between Sonic fans.
Exactly right. Now, Sega had no problems with that, and they were very happy to allow us to do that, and they said, no problem, go ahead and put that on your Facebook page, and we can then go ahead and start getting the feedback and go through the design process. Now that was a disaster.
I remember that very well.
You remember that, right?
I remember that very well, yeah. Different options, different colors, different backdrops.
So, well, for the first thing is this. The first thing I asked Sega, let's just go back and be clear about one thing. There was a 15th anniversary Sonic statue made. Now, we didn't make it, but it was made, and it was based off of the render, the official render that was there for the 15th anniversary Sonic. Now, if you look at that, and I'll put it here.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, he's sort of like in this sort of backwards pose like that, and it's modern Sonic, and he's sort of doing this pose. And a statue not made by us was made, and that was representative of that character in that pose, and that was modern Sonic. Now, that is the reason why, I believe, when it came around to the 20th anniversary, it was a contract manufacturing gig, because the 15th anniversary was also made for Sega, who gave it away. And likewise, the 20th anniversary, they asked us to make it for that time, and we made it. But the clear thing about that, of course, is that it was made off of the 20th anniversary render. And there was a design made in 3D render that Sega sort of used for all the imagery, and we made a statue based off of that imagery.
That one. Yep.
Exactly. So the first thing I said...
The one where he has his hand on the TV.
The one that he has his hand on the TV, and of course we'll be putting some pictures of that.
Yep.
Now, the first thing I asked when we were contacted from Sega was about this 25th anniversary one. Of course, the first thing I asked was, well, show me the render. And so this is sort of jumping... I should have explained this bit before we talked about going on having the collaborative thing. But yes, whether or not there was that 25th anniversary render, to which they said certainly back in 2015 there wasn't anything, and that is why we therefore had the carte blanche to actually go ahead and create what we wanted to, and that's, so we sort of backtracked a bit there, is why we actually had that conversation with the Sonic fans themselves to collaborate with them, with the fandom, to create this community piece for the 25th anniversary. Which, as I said, turned out to be a bit of a disaster.
I think you should put some images up as well.
Absolutely. We're gonna, as we talk about this right now, I've already downloaded them all in preparation to go through all the different design changes. So when we go through them, what I had done, and this was all throughout. So this is from sort of, I guess it would have been. I had done some initial design work, and I actually put that up with an initial design on Facebook, and that was with Classic Sonic. And remember, Sega requested Classic Sonic, so here we are, Classic Sonic, holding a controller, and he was sort of doing the sort of look behind, thumbs up, and in front of him was a TV, and he was playing himself. Now, what I had actually done was having a Dreamcast and him playing modern, Sonic Adventure 1, for example, and therefore you have two generations of Sonics, modern and classic, within the one piece. So that was the plan, and then the switch out was going to be a Genesis,
Mega Drive,
Genesis Mega Drive, with the classic game like that.
So
the regular would have been modern, and the classic and the exclusive would have come with
both of them.
So with Genesis Mega Drive. So
I remember you asking, "Oh, do you want the TV on top of on a coffee table?"
You're jumping ahead
Yeah, I'm
here,
sorry,
well, you're probably one of the guys who were bloody annoying, who was like, it's too low, and he put it up.
Someone was asking for a totem as well.
My gosh, exactly. Totem designs. I mean, there was a ton of different. So when we put that up,
I gave a lot of feedback. I was like, why is Sonic having his back facing towards the
And this, you guys, you're beginning to understand some of the things that we had to go through, and that involved, as you know, Chocos was saying, why isn't there, some of the comments were, it needs to be a totem pole there.
It needs to have the Sonic 25th medal on the front or
medal on the front.
And then we wanted like
wings.
Yeah, the wings from the 16-bit intro, the game intro bit. With the stars
raising it, colouring it red. Basically, there was a lot of things that happened
and the checkered flag.
It was literally anything and everything, and I get it, right? As much as we could cram into there. And then I was like, how is this, guys? And people were like, yes. People were like, no. Oh, it's too busy. Oh, it's too simple. Make it even more crazy. Make it even more this. Make it even more that. Oh, turn his body here. Change this, change that. And it began to become sort of like a Frankenstein. It began to become this part here, that part there, and
everyone's a chef.
So there you go, classic saying, too many cooks spoil the broth is a perfect example right here. And the biggest problem wasn't that. It wasn't, I am a very patient man. If it's something that is going to make people get involved with the piece and make people connected with the piece, who am I to say no? I was absolutely 100% committed to making exactly what people wanted. Except for that problem was the fandom could not agree. And when I would run poll after poll, it became this scenario where it was 50% this and 50% that. And so it was 50% was like, oh, I'm not going to buy it if it's like that. And 50% like, that's great. And then if we go switch the other way, then those people that were like yes became no and no's became yeses. And I'm like, wait a sec, we're potentially absolutely cutting out half of our sales here.
Let's make them both. Why not make them both?
What is up, guys? I just did a massive gulp there because...
it's like one classic and one...
So let's have a quick example of what happened with Artorias and the swords. Do you want to just have a bit about that so we can talk a bit about fan feedback and what happened with that?
I mean, like the Artorias exclusive version it came with the cursed sword and the cursed sword. That was the initial design for it.
Correct.
2 swords. Whereas the regular one just had the one uncursed sword.
No, the one cursed sword.
The one cursed sword, sorry, yes. So the exclusive one was supposed to have 2 swords, and then halfway through development, we said,
Basically, we found that the uncursed sword was very clean looking.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, why don't we make it a little bit more weathered?
Semi.
Semi. It's still not. It basically didn't just come out of the forge, out of the fire being forged or what have you. Come out right at the base all nice and clean and shiny. Had a nice little wax polish on it. So we added a bit of scuff marks on that. So what happened there, Charles?
And then you went, oh, here you go, guys. Check this picture out. What do you like? Do you prefer it really clean or semi?
No, I didn't even ask. Do you prefer it? I just said this is the new version.
This is the new version. We gave it a bit of a rough finish to it.
Yeah.
And then
50% of people went, what are you doing? I absolutely hate it. I like the original clean version. And 50% went, that's amazing. It's way better. And absolutely, in this scenario, we said, you know what? Let's give both. So
in the end,
there
was 3 swords in the package.
Exactly, for the exclusive version. And that's simply because we didn't want people to lose out. So we have we've demonstrated before that we will take into consideration that very greatly. Except for what you suggested about making both is it didn't quite, it would have been too separate. It would be too different because one was involving a lot more totem poles and different colours and jingle jangles and
supersonic combo.
Well, that's
we never had like combos.
That's another conversation for a whole another time. But absolutely, as you were saying, it became to the point where when I was finding that 50% of people were loving it, 50% of people weren't liking it, that I said, this is just crazy. It's just crazy. And I said that it wasn't the issue that became more and more and more, and it started going further and further away from the initial concept. No problems with that. Very happy to see where the community takes us. Not a problem. The problem was the community couldn't come to a consensus, and that led to me thinking that it didn't make any sense to keep going down this path. So on the 16th of March, 16th of March 2016, I got an email from Sega to go, yo, what is up, guys? How are we doing? We're kind of getting to the birthday date.
Yeah.
And I basically told them that we were completely scrapping the concept that we were initially going through. Because Sega was absolutely kept informed. As we were doing the polls, I sort of stopped giving them updates as it started getting more and more divided. But at the initial stage, I had showed it to them and the feedback, and they were quite, they were positive about the sort of initial feedback. But as it kept going further and further down the line, it started veering off target. That's when I said, sorry, I just can't. I just need to make an executive decision and say I'm going to not go with that and go with something completely different. So actually, on the 16th of March 2016, I said we're not going to go with this. And I said, as I said, the people were saying it was too busy, the base was too busy, it was too simple. This was for the previous version, right? And another issue was that people were saying that the TV was too similar to the 20th anniversary, all these sort of reasons. And I said, you know what? I was going to make a decision and actually not go with that. So here we are now at the revised version, which obviously went through Sega approval and they were very happy with what they saw. And of course, I believe that this is far better, the more comprehensive design and the best homage to the 25th anniversary classic Sonic. So guys, I really hope that you agree with the direction that we went in the end and didn't go with the previous version. Let us know in the comments. We'd be very happy to hear what you think about that. I certainly know that when we put sneak peeks into the club, the 50% of the people that really loved the previous one was like, oh, that's a shame, we really like the other one. But of course still had an open mind for this version as well. But hopefully, now that you've seen it, maybe you can let us know in the comments what you think and whether or not you believed as well this was the right decision to make. Hopefully you agree with that. Absolutely. So, here we are. What do we have here? We have the 25th anniversary logo here, and we have the signpost, and this is sort of trying to rekindle to all those people who actually played the very first Sonic. That's what it really was about. Those that played the first Sonic, what is the first stage that you go through? Green Hill Zone. What happens at the very end? You zoom past the end and the signpost spins, and you count how many coins you may have picked up, gold coins you would have picked up. If you get, was it more than 50, you get yourself.
You get the big massive, the big massive coin. And
absolutely.
Take you to the bonus stage.
Big rings. Yeah. And absolutely. So that was something that we really tried to capture within this. Now it goes beyond that. It was also this whole eight sort of figure of 8 peel. We call it the 8 peel run. Yeah. And that as well was something that was kind of part of the running across feeling as you're trying to do it with pace. And it's trying to, how do you make a statue, which is obviously still, look like it's running and add movement in there. And so in terms of the sculpt, that's what we decided to do with that. And the paint work on that, the way that we blended the reds of the shoes with the whites of the buckle, the whites of the strap, you can probably see it a bit better here.
From the front.
You can see the sort of, the yellow buckle over here, and the yellow buckle that's sort of going up and down this curve. Yeah, the blur effect. Yeah. With the whites of the straps sort of very subtly being in there. And again, you can see it from the other side as well. You can see the yellow and the white. And likewise, you know how the white of the strap actually goes from the outer to the inner? It goes all the way across. So when you look at it from the inside, you can still see some of the white here, but no yellow because the buckle was only on the outside.
On the outside, yeah.
So that's how we got that sort of going along like that. Yeah, so basically that is how we ended up here and the reasoning behind we went for that. So I think we go in a bit more detail as we get into more questions, because that was a long answer for Kevin.
Yeah, so, yeah. Right, next question from an Adam Foley. What made you give him his classic figure 8 run?
Yeah, so definitely that was part of what we were sort of talking about, the 8 peel. It was really about the sense of movement and the speed, and you actually see him in a few artworks. Have you seen those artworks?
Yeah, I've seen those artworks, yeah.
We can maybe throw some of those artworks in there. Those artworks have this beautiful design, and it's all blurry, but how do you create that in this? And that, you know, it took us a long time to actually go through with that and try to understand the best way to blur it. And it was pretty tough to try and get it just right, because not only is it about sculpting it, it's also considering that it actually looks good from all angles. Because before, when we first started off, we had quite a lot of problems, I'm not gonna lie. It took a bit of a while. That this angle, it looked amazing, absolutely stunning, and it does look amazing now. When you saw it from other angles...
That's the only angle you see on the 16-bit version.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And from that angle, boom, smack bang, looks exactly perfect.
Yeah.
But when you look at this, right, the way it looks in 3D, it actually looks really, really good. It's still there. And it's in proportion. What I mean by that is you have his left leg is on one side, his right leg is on the other side. His body is rotated in order to do that sort of as he's going past.
Yeah, give it the V sign.
Hold on, let me just...
Yeah.
You gotta, right, you know, that whole point is my body is sort of like turning to the side as he's running past like that, right? So if you look at the way that he's been sculpted as well, you can see that it's not just straight backwards. His body's been turned and twisted.
Angle, yeah.
So that was all the considerations for the head turn, the body turn, and the way that the legs connected to the 8 peel, you know, for the figure 8. So that was difficult to make. So it was a challenging, and that's something that we wanted to get right, and it's never been done before.
Yeah.
It's never been done before, and as a result, now it has. What is up, guys? And I'm glad that nobody else made it in the time that it made that 25th.
Exactly, yeah.
First the market. What is up, guys?
That's cool. I like this. I like that. Because you always imagine Sonic moving really fast, and you never see.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, gotta go fast. Yeah.
Gotta go fast. And the way that he's running in, and of course the way that he's doing it is, it's like you can actually sort of see the size of his feet. Now, of course, you could have kept it lower. The peel could have been lower. For example, right now, it comes up to his chest. But that implies that the way that Sonic runs is almost like, if you imagine like this sort of like, okay, I know it's like figure of 8, but the way that foot comes forward, he's got these huge strides.
Yeah.
Because he's sort of like rotating the whole leg to get that super speed, that sort of round motion. So you can see he's got massive strides coming over here, going over there, right? It's not below his stomach, which you would think. Do you know what I mean? It's not below his stomach. So it's come up over there to get that really big sort of sense of massive movement for Sonic, because that's what he's known about. Speed, speed, speed.
Cool. All right, next question. Jeremy Beerson, can you discuss how you came to abandon the old 25th concept in favour of the new one?
I do apologise, Jeremy, we've just gone through that.
Yeah,
and that was quite extensive, but hopefully you guys agree that was the right decision.
I think you've answered quite a lot of questions there, actually, because the next question from Jacob Rush was, what was your biggest challenge when creating the 25th anniversary statue?
You know what? I think it's time.
Yeah?
I think it is time to show you guys the exclusive. Are we ready, Chucks? Do we agree?
Are you sure? I'm just making sure these questions... Yeah?
I believe it's time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright then, if you think it's time then.
Because last time I was about to do that, you denied me.
Did I?
Yeah. Are we okay to show the 25th exclusive right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's switch it up. Because we usually answer all the questions.
We
and
do
all the
shout outs.
Yeah,
but in
do
order
the
to answer
exclusive.
that question,
Yeah.
because the exclusive was by far and away the hardest part. You're ready for this?
It's very technical. Which one you?
Those that have been observant may have noticed as it was going around to this side, there were these things at the bottom.
Oh, just one thing. This is not how it looks like once it goes out.
We will make some tweaks. We'll make the change the color so it's not black, for example.
We'll make it nice,
blending in a bit more.
Yeah.
But for this version, and this is to be clear, this is a factory countersample. So there is the vast majority of what you see here is what you're going to get, because we pride ourselves on actually showing you what you're going to be getting in the box. What we don't want to be doing is showing you unattainable prototypes. That's not what we're about. But this part here will be improved on. We always improve on rather than make it worse. Now, those that have been observant will have noticed this as it's been going around. And now, your patience will be absolutely rewarded because we're going to show you what's going to happen here. So, here we go, guys. In 3, can I do it? Can I do it, Josh?
Yeah, this one first, yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, boom! Now check that out, guys.
Yeah.
What do you see there?
The exclusive version is a light up.
So let's give that a nice little spin.
Light up figure of 8.
Now that is beautiful, if I do say so myself. Now you get that sort of sense of speed. Now, of course, we'll cut to some daylight, some night shots.
Yeah, so it looks nicer.
So you can sort of see how it looks. We're in like really bright lights and studio lighting here, but you can sort of really see if we sort of turn it off and you turn it on, you can really sort of see how that comes in.
Yeah.
Now, those that are observant noticed that we had those buttons, but those that were even more observant will have thought, hey, that's cool, you saw that, but why was there more than one button? Let's have another look at what we have over here. So let's talk about these buttons. The first one we see here is a button. We have not pushed that button yet, and we will be pushing it soon. The next thing we have over here is a micro USB connection, and above it an LED
indicator.
Because what you see here is there aren't any batteries here. Batteries, we have a rechargeable battery, but like a lithium-ion rechargeable battery slot that it can go in there.
Yep.
But you don't need to worry about those sort of disposable batteries because you can charge it with your micro USB, and then you can therefore have it where you want to put it and therefore be able to run it anytime. As we move across, we have this metal thing over here. What could that be? And we have this, which we have just used to, I'll turn it off again.
Turn it the right way, yeah.
I've turned it off.
Yeah.
You can see that the switch is now facing upwards, but if I do this, you can see it's being turned on. But it doesn't stop there, guys. This is the hardest thing we're about to show you now. This, my friends, is what took us a long time to get just right. You ready for this, Chocks?
I'm always ready. Are you ready?
I'm feeling. Hit that switch, Chocks.
Which one?
That one.
That
I'll
one.
turn
Yeah.
it once.
All right. So guys, this is, as always, our exclusive lights. If you remember our Sonic Tornado, if you flip that switch on, you press that switch on, then the flame lights up. Static. But we're trying to up ourselves every time. So
absolutely.
We've been experimenting quite a lot of animated lights.
Check that out, guys.
So here we go, guys. Boom. Observe. Yeah.
Look at the speed of that.
Yeah.
And
Keep
then
look. Yeah.
slows down. The guys.
Look at that.
Look at that. And I'm gonna cut that out now and bring it in the dark.
In the dark.
So people can see how that looks.
So it's like Sonic. It doesn't go from 0 to boom 100 like that. He's got to pick up some momentum.
He does need to pick up some momentum, especially if he's just gone onto a spike of a bad nick or something like that, and then he's like, he's lost all his coins. All of his rings. He's lost all of his rings, and now he's going to try and collect them all up. He starts from stationary, and he has to build up the speed. So guys, can you see how that goes all the way through the figure of 8, goes all the way around, and it speeds up and slows down. And we really, really wanted to be able to show you and show that in the actual figure itself. And as you absolutely rightly said, Chocks, we wanted to improve on how we could animate the lights to give it, and it made so much sense for this. So much more than 25th anniversary, so much more than, let's say, the Generations, or so much more than Sonic on the Biplane, because, on the Tornado, I should say, because this really demonstrates a sense of speed that is really being showcased in the lights in this effect here.
So guys, if any of you guys are like, sensitive to flickering lights, you can always just have it on a static light.
And here you go, guys. Put it back to the static lights right there.
As a lamp,
yes,
as a lamp. If some guys do use these as a lamp, so you can have it that way, or you can have it, to express that feeling, that speed. How he starts off slow and then boom, getting faster and faster.
Absolutely, that's a mode you can do.
That will be that option. Oops, sorry.
So that is off. That is fully on.
And then
this is the one, as we just said, that gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and then gets to the speed, and then slows down.
Yeah.
But Chocks.
Yeah.
We didn't stop there, did we? Because oh no, that would be too easy.
Yeah. We want more.
We want more.
Yeah. And everyone's been like, I want him to be fast all the time.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who are we to say no?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right, I want him fast all the time. Look at that.
Look at that, guys.
So this is the third option. Using the same switch here. This one.
So can you switch that back to the off? So
you want to do it on the outside, yeah?
Which way am I going? Going this way. Okay. So off.
Yeah.
Facing upwards.
Yeah.
Turn it one time. You have it fully on.
Fully on.
This one more time there, and it goes through
the animation,
right? Faster to slow, right?
Faster, slow, slow to fast.
Absolutely. And then boom. He has it constantly on speed.
Yeah. On speed.
Don't do drugs, kids. And therefore you can see the pace that he's always constantly going there. Now you guys will understand what this one does. You know what this micro USB and this LED here is for. We don't know what this does yet. We'll come back to that. Yeah. But what's that over there?
Yeah.
So Chocks, why don't you have a bit of explaining about that one there?
You heard of the word dimmer?
Dimmer switches.
Dimmer switches. When you go in the living room, you want to have a romantic evening. I'll just turn the lights down. Yeah.
I was wondering when you were going to ask me out.
There you go. So let's turn the lights down. Yeah. So here you go, guys. I'm just about to turn this down. Look. Keep focusing on the lights. See?
Variable speed.
I want it like walking pace. There you go.
A stroll in the park, one might say.
Yeah.
A stroll in the park. So what are you doing there, Chocks? Exactly.
I just twisted that dial, that little dimmer switch.
So why don't you go ahead and turn that up?
Right. So.
All right. Yeah.
Level that way, and then now I want him to be, picking up a little bit of speed, like so. Yeah.
Yeah,
like a brisk walk.
A brisk walk.
A brisk walk. There you go. It's like that.
It's like the going on the treadmills.
The treadmills, yeah. So there you go.
That's sort of like a medium pace, yeah.
So you can go whatever speed you want to go at,
Yeah, variable speeds for all.
And then if you want, this way,
that's it.
This way, yeah. And then look at that, back to full speed.
And that is simply going through all. It's just a full rotation. It's just very, very smooth.
You can turn left and turn right. That's all it is.
That's all it is, guys. So, guys, that is almost it when it comes to the exclusive.
Yeah.
There's a few more things up our sleeves, and we talked about
that one.
This one over here. Can I?
Yeah, you do it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
That's a much easier button to
It is. Guys, we didn't stop there. We went that little bit further to take it over the edge.
Because we we did say, you know, this is like a...
We want to recreate.
Yeah, that point where you run through the goalpost at the end of the first stage.
And what happens when you go past their chocks?
You go, whoo, something starts spinning.
What is up, guys? Boom! And now you see, you've gone past the checkpoint. You've gone past the end of the goal.
The goalpost,
And the signpost spins, and you see the way it spins, and that is absolutely recreating.
Yeah. Then what happens after that? It's like, oh, if you start jump spin, you pick up those extra points. But you can imagine that, right?
It's a statue. You can't.
You can't go any further. Yeah.
But guys, we did our absolute best, and hopefully you agree that we've gone ahead and created as much as we could with the 25th.
There was no way you could do that with the original designs at all.
Absolutely could not do anything there. We talked about the exclusive version. And the exclusive version for the other one was swapping between the Genesis and the
Dreamcast
and the Dreamcast, right? Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So this one here, we wanted to forget about sort of taking him out of the game, which was again very similar to the 20th anniversary, and to be able to, we thought, 25 years Sonic has been around for. It's his birthday. Well, let's go back to the origins. Let's go back to that first game. And what happens? What is the point that you always remember? You always remember going past that goalpost. You see the signpost spin, you see him zooming across, and in this scenario he's got a peace sign because that's just how cool he is. What a cool hedgehog he is. So guys, let's have a little let's get that spinning as we're talking about that. Of course, we've got him just going crazy fast in this scenario. And I just love how you can now sort of, if you look very carefully, the signpost has got this kind of like metal sheen to it. That sort of like the kind of rusty, little bit weathered like that to get at it, but it really catches the light as we're going through here, as it's sort of going through that.
And the imagery as well is like the classic 16-bit.
That's absolutely right. Now, that was quite a design choice to go for a classic sort of retro pixelated look. And this was actually the only time that we've actually seen 25th anniversary put against this design in terms of the pixelated characters of both Eggman.
This is 25th anniversary,
Correct. Guys, I just wanted to quickly say something. We had a bit of issues with this one where it's slightly wobbling. If you look very carefully, it's slightly wobbling. And what we're going to do is improve that on the production piece to make sure it doesn't wobble as much, so it's that much smoother. So I do apologize about that, guys, for this one here, but the final piece would be that much smoother. So going back to this is the first time that Sega had actually allowed us, and maybe even other people as well, to use that 25th logo, 25th anniversary logo, and put it on to something that was their design. So we're really happy that Sega allowed us to do that. Because, Chocks, it allowed for us to do something different.
There's one thing I just want to talk about these pixelated designs. It's not just, could just stop this for a moment, It's just something really design choice here, because like if you compare it to the original in-game graphics, you can actually see the tip of the hair, the hair there, and then on the back with Robotnik's,
it comes outside
right of the frame.
Absolutely right. Absolutely correct.
Because on this video camera, you can't see it. When you feel it, put your finger across the surface, the image is actually popping out a bit.
That's absolutely right. And I think we have a way to demonstrate that, Chocks.
How?
Well, guys, to be clear, let's just quickly recap something. This is the 25th anniversary Sonic, and this is the regular version, right? So just like this, no lights with this, and you have the ability to remove the post if you wanted to and turn it around like so. You will be able to.
You should be able to.
Maybe that one time.
Yeah.
But guys, this is the exclusive version, and it comes with
the regular version.
So,
The regular
this is the regular version. But what I'm trying to say, So that's the regular version that allows you for you to.
Yep.
to
No
check
lights,
that.
and it allows you to
Yeah.
take it out and then put it back in the
Yeah.
other side. Yep.
And it doesn't rotate.
Okay. Does not rotate.
Does not rotate. The exclusive version. Are you ready for this, guys? Because this is one final little something from your friends at First and Figures.
Yep. So let's recap for the exclusive version. The exclusive
Okay, let's
version
recap
would
the
be
exclusive
the lights, animated lights, the rotating goalposts, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Animated lights, rotating goalposts.
Yep.
A signal, signpost.
Yep.
And then we take this off, and now we're going to show you guys this. Watch out, guys. Here we are, 25th anniversary Sonic. That comes off. There is a magnet there, and you can really sort of now see that there. Maybe you can sort of see that it is. Look if we sort of do that. It's slightly 3D there. You can see that, guys. And that is. We put that.
Yep.
And this is
The other side.
the other side.
Yeah, let's put that
So
there.
take that over there. Yeah. Perfect. And guys, let us show that the exclusive version comes with 2 additional magnets like these. They're not, magnets. They're they are magnets, but done in a sort of soft PVC effect.
Yep, yep.
And we're going to start off with classic Eggman Robotnik.
Now these are official artwork.
That's absolutely right. So we have Eggman there, and then we have.
I like to call him Robotnik.
Robotnik,
but-
yeah,
but
sure.
Eggman.
And there we go. It's just as simple as that. Swapped it around,
Yeah.
put it back in, slot that in, spin that baby up, and you now have the exclusive version, which comes with these additional magnets that is as easy as pie as
Yeah.
taking in and out. So guys, that is it.
Interchangeable plates.
Interchangeable. One thing just to sort of mention is when we thought about this.
What?
When you go
You
past
keep thinking all the time.
when you go past the sign, when you go past the goal,
Yeah.
what way does the signpost spin?
Yeah. This way.
It spins this way, and the reason is he's on the right hand side. When you look at this angle here, he's zoomed past this way, meaning that the thing should spin this way. It should not spin that way. It would only spin that way if he was actually on this side. But he's on this side, therefore it spins that way. So guys, it has been considered something for you guys to consider as well. So that really is the exclusive version. Have you put it on slow? Or is it spinning? Oh, it's on that mode.
Yeah.
We keep it on super speed. It's going past all of that. Slowing it down. Super speed him up. And hopefully you guys can now really see a recreation of that classic moment when he crosses the finish line. He gets himself some nice rings, gold rings, and there you go.
Yeah.
That is it, guys. Hopefully you like what you see. That changed things up. Shall we continue with the questions then?
All right then. Yeah. Wow. Cool. All right. Where am I? Tyler King. How does the production value and time spent working on this compare to the other Sonic statues?
So clearly, what we've just gone through for the regular and the exclusive, we spent a lot of time on that exclusive to get all the things just right. So yeah, it took us a lot longer, and of course, to talk about the fact that we had to scrap the design from the original start all the way to the revised version now, led to a crazy amount of changes, leading to us having to start over again, and it took a lot longer than a lot of the other items that we've made in the past. But hopefully you guys agree that it was well worth it and that our perseverance was correct.
Oh, one other thing as well. These plaques here are 3D as well. They have that kind of slightly raised effect as well.
That's right.
Yeah, so they're not just
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, they're not just like flat images. All right.
Yeah.
All right, next question from a James Bennington. Did you guys enjoy making us wait? But seriously, what game inspired you the most for this statue?
Well, I mean, now that it's fully been revealed and we talked about the concept of actually going back To answer your first question, yes, we did enjoy making you wait,
Yeah.
but it wasn't actually intended to be that way.
Yeah.
Of course, scrapping it all over and starting all over again led to months and months and months, coming up to a year of work just down the drain, having to start all over again. So that gives you a bit of insight in terms of how long it takes to make something. In terms of the inspiration, of course, now that you've seen it, and the fact that we set off with a absolute goal to recreate that first moment when you crossed the line for the first time from the very first game, you can see the inspiration is from that.
Nice. Brianna Sanderson. Will Sega be promoting your statue for the 25th anniversary?
Sega has been a fantastic partner, absolutely
definitely.
fantastic partner. They were very helpful when it came to the Silver. If you haven't checked out the Silver the Hedgehog making of documentary or our Silver the Hedgehog, and we'll put a picture of it here. But they've been absolutely fantastic in terms of helping us promote
all the Sega
items.
social platforms,
Absolutely.
the Sonic the Hedgehog channels. Yeah.
And what is up, Sega? We're hopefully going to get the same here as well. So absolutely, really value them working with us, and fantastic licensor to work with. Very, very great guys over there.
All right. Next question from Ryan Fincham. If the 25th Sonic does well and modern Metal Sonic is made and does well, what will be next in the Sonic line? Wow. Thinking very far ahead, isn't he?
Let's talk about it in the club. One of the things that I would love to do is my own personal favorite would be classic diorama of Sonic and Tails. The helicopter spin of Sonic, of Tails' tail in the air, pulling Sonic.
Rescuing Sonic, yeah?
Rescuing him,
taking him to higher
exactly
heights,
right.
yeah.
And I've got some sort of ideas in my head, but that would be a very vertical piece.
Yeah.
A very vertical piece. Because to sort of get that, but hey, that's for another time. And we would love to hear what you guys think, and we will sort of take it to the club, and definitely we'll take it to the club.
One of my favorite things is like destroying once you've defeated one of the bosses, mini bosses, let's call them, you have to you destroy a capsule to rescue all the little bunnies and furry animals.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like that effect.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things I like the idea of is maybe Eggman in his Eggmobile.
Oh yeah. On that robot.
Yeah,
on that robot.
Oh yeah, the Walker one. Yeah, I mean, look, there's
yeah.
so many things.
Yeah.
The Diorama series. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love the classic line and the modern line where they're focusing on the character. But the Diorama line really allows us to flex our creative thinking and our thought processes for that. So that's definitely something that we love to think about. And you have some great ideas.
Imagine like having Sonic in the Labyrinth songs under the water, inside his little air bubble. Yeah.
If you want to almost drown.
Like clear resin.
Hey,
awesome.
Love the idea. You have some great ideas. The club will definitely have some great ideas. Would be love to hear that and develop that even further. So look, let's hopefully that's something that we can get to further into the line.
Cool. Right, next question from Brandon Dragon Juras. If these
Juarez.
What? Sorry.
Juarez.
Yes. All right. If these Sonic statues do well, do you think we will be able to get Sonic versus Metals?
There you go. That's
like another diorama thing.
That's another example of something that we could do, and that's really interesting. So yes, absolutely. Maybe we can have a diorama with Sonic and Amy.
It sounds like a Sonic Fighters.
There is that Sonic
game?
Rivals and all that sort of stuff. It's absolutely the Diorama series is probably where I see more stuff being made. Maybe definitely I want to be making modern Metal Sonic from the classic from the modern
so
line.
You can just solely concentrate on that character.
Correct.
Itself.
Which obviously bigger scale and you can sort of continue with that line. But the Diorama series is definitely something. So as you said, Brandon Juarez is loving the idea of a Sonic versus Metal Sonic, and hey, that's not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. And that's some examples we can have other characters like Amy in there. Maybe who does it more in her own statue in a classic line, for example, or in
probably work in a diorama thing.
Hey,
yeah.
You know what? That could absolutely be right. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Right. Next one from Ricky Underdog Powell. What was the first Sonic game you played, and what are your favorites?
So I'm old. I started with the classic.
Yeah.
and it will always be there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, don't get me wrong. I love my Sonic Adventure. You know, but classic. Loved it so much that I decided to make a statue on it.
There you go. Dreams come true.
How about you, Jox?
Well, my first Sonic game is on the Mega Drive, so the original one.
But what about your favourites?
What do you mean by favorite?
So they asked you, what's your first one? Clearly, it was the first one, same as me. Which is your favourite?
Oh, so many. I can't just choose one favorite. I mean, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, all the different cartridges connected together. Even the Game Boy Sonics are good. Even the spin-off ones or the very niche ones like Sonic Spinball. I don't know why I spent hours and hours on that game, Sonic Spinball. And Sonic Racing, and all the the crossovers, all the other Sonics as well. So
it's hard to choose one.
It's hard to choose one, yeah. But for me, I'm always go back to the classics. Yeah, it's just something about the classic character.
Well, we grew up with it essentially as well like that.
Yeah.
So this really is quite.
This is my piece. Yeah.
This is guys, just here's something that's quite interesting. You guys might be interested to hear this. Chuckles came and joined our company. God, it seems like such a long time ago, but it actually wasn't. Just over a year ago.
Yeah, just over a year now.
Now, before Chuckles actually joined us, and so happy obviously he's here. I said to Chuckles, you have a choice of 2 items that he would have seen us talking about in the club to see what it looked like. As someone who there was no, it was the first time I met you, right? There was no sort of, oh, you're going to be working with us or anything like that. It was just you coming over as a fan. You had your classic one, obviously
the Metal Sonic,
right? There were 2 items that I said you may peek in and see it. What did you choose?
Well, the first one was a Zelda piece.
Which was
a Link on Offwing.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
King of Red Lions.
Sorry. My bad. Yeah. I don't know why I said Link on Offwing.
I don't know either.
There's been a lot of Link on Offwings lately. That's why. In the club. But yes, you're right. King of Red Lions, definitely, because Wind Waker was one of my favorite Zelda games. And then this was the other piece.
25th anniversary.
25th anniversary. I remember you asked me what changes you would like.
To
this piece.
Yeah. Did I listen?
Yeah, you probably did listen, but then just kind of like.
No, but was it incorporated or not?
No.
Okay. See me after class and we'll discuss what that was. But certainly, how do you feel as someone who was not part of the company at the time that we did the 25th anniversary initial reveal, i.e. the one holding the Genesis, to this one? Take aside the fact that you work for First Figures now, but what do you think? You were on the other side. You were the one commenting, putting more totem poles on there. I'll go back and look at the Facebook page, exactly what you said. I'll look it up. Maybe I can find it actually.
No, I don't think I asked for totem poles, but I did ask for raise that TV up because you couldn't see anything.
Right.
And do not have his back facing the other side because all you see is like kind of like face.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a great idea to have the interchangeable Mega Drive Genesis and the Dreamcast controllers and the different images. But for me, I prefer the actual wings on the Sonic 1, 2, and 3. The main screen. That idea was great. And then when I heard it was scrapped, I was like, okay then.
But what have you got for us instead?
Because I'm quite a patient guy, like I've been in this hobby for a long time, so I know the actual. Okay, fine. I'll just wait for it then. I'll just wait for it to come out because it's eventually going to come out. And then once I saw this on the screen, I was like, okay, but something's a bit missing. And then it was like, gave you those options, and then it's like, whatever. And then once I started working, and once I saw the printed model,
the size
of it,
they started working together on this bit to take it to the next level.
And then like, okay, let's choose the colors, and then that was way before we had the animated lights and having this Poe animated. It was kind of like just plain, very plain stuff. And then nearer to the end of the project, we thought, why not just make this? Why not make this spin? Why not make that light?
Let's make it raise it to another level.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, we worked on ages on those metal parts as well, and then like we've come quite a long way. And
so, what's the conclusion? Yes or no?
Yes or no? What?
Did we make the right choice to go with this over the other one?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. It's like we could not these extra features.
It's hot in here, guys.
These extra features cannot be done. Cannot be done in the other scrapped idea.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So look, that's absolutely right. And just, you know, I've got to sort of talk a bit about the base as well.
Yeah.
The fact that it is the original classic version of the Green Hill Zone.
Yeah.
And you've got those sort of really bright greens over the sort of this sort of green here versus the sort of more muted color in the middle, and you have those sort of stripe effects. And of course you have the checkered parts on the bottom of the base as well, that you can sort of see from the side and the back and all the way around it. Again, it's recreating that moment that you go across. Now, what's interesting about that is we actually went for a bit more sort of realistic texture, and we took some sort of feeling from Sonic Generations actually.
Yeah.
So that's why you have that kind of not very straight sort of classic style, but actually had it more realistic, all sort of part together. It's all sort of part together to create that perfect sort of mixture between the original classic plus a bit of modern take to the base. So that's how you sort of see that all together.
Right, sweet. Right, last but not least, Courtney Jenkins. Being that Sonic games all have good soundtracks, do you have any favourite songs from the games?
I'm a massive fan of Green Hill Zone.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you?
It started off... I prefer the tornado. The ending.
Huh?
The ending.
I like it.
I can't remember, but the ending. It's slow. It's really slow. And it's like, oh man, after completing the whole game, because like back then you couldn't save, right? On the Mega Drive, you couldn't save, you had to punch in a password to go back to the same area, but act zone or whatever you want to call it. But the ending song of the tornado, that was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Cool. That was the longest documentary we've ever made, and we still got a bit more to go.
Shout outs.
Shout outs.
Yeah, all yours.
How does this work again, Chocks?
All right, shout outs. Well, basically, you know, that post we were talking about earlier in the Collectors Club, with these all these questions that you've given us, one random comment will be posted in there by myself. It could happen anytime. I'll just post a comment and say, hey, first 10 people to reply to that comment will get a shout out from Alex, and so far it's been really good. So I'll try and, you know, post that up at different times of the day to give everyone a chance to, you know.
I see a bunch of new people here.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's really cool. Shout out to Ricky Onolog Powell. Now I know he's a massive Sonic fan.
Yeah, I know.
What is up, Ricky? We have Brianna Sanderson. What is up? Yasun Lu. How's it going? Jono Dixon in the house. Mad love to him and to Alex for the input. And of course, what I wanted to talk about that, I know how I've just sort of cut into the shout out bit here, but they were really great in terms of bouncing the ideas off of them. Once I said to them, look guys, I'm going to cut this out, there was a bit, are you sure? And all this sort of stuff. And I said, this is the reasoning for it. And then we started going further into this 25th anniversary. They were definitely very sort of helpful and guiding in terms of always being the collector's point of view, because it's very easy for me. It's much easier now. I have a much bigger team, of course, now. But before it was just me sort of working on it in focus and isolation. And they were a fantastic, and still are a fantastic sort of group of guys, two guys that, and certainly for the Sonic series, to bounce off ideas. What do you as the collectors want to see, and have that kind of that sort of connection with it. And so that's shout out to Jonathan Dixon for that, and to Alex Arundel for that. So shout out, what is up? Olivia Horton, what is up? Peter Robinson, someone say Sonic, you said Sonic, what is going on? Andrew Joseph, what is up? Shout out to Jessica Castig, our admin, lovely admin, what is going on, Jessica? Atonya Knight, how's it going? And last but not least, a classic person who's always getting shout outs because he always seems to be in the club 24/7. What is up, Brendan Rustello? What is going on, guys? Mad love. And now it is time to do the
specs. Yeah.
Hit me, Jocks.
All right.
Let's start off with a Coke can test.
Yeah, as always.
Stop that there.
One for you.
This one is actually not too tall. He's much wider. And so when you go through these, it's going to be quite interesting to know the heights and that. So this is just a bit under 3 Coke cans tall.
Yep. 330ml cans.
330ml cans, so not to be confused with a 350 over for our American family over across the pond. So that is the size of those.
So my turn now.
Yep.
Right. Start off the height. Basically from the bottom of the base to the top of this pole. Yep.
Yeah. This is probably the tallest bit there.
No, it's this bit here, definitely.
Pretty similar.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit taller. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one's roughly about 13 inches high, which is 33 centimeters.
Okay.
Right. The width, which is this way.
Yeah. From
this way. Yeah. That's about 15.5 inches, which is 40 centimeters.
It's a nice size.
Yeah. And then the depth, which is literally the front of this level, the game level to the back of the level. That's 8.5 inches depth, which is 22 centimeters.
Cool.
There you go. Really simple.
Straightforward that one was.
Yeah, very straightforward.
It's very that sort of rectangular shape because you sort of get that feeling from it.
All these pieces are within this rectangular shape
Of course,
as well. Yeah.
of course.
Last but not least, the weight. Right now, the exclusive version with all the lights and stuff. So that's right now about 4.62 kgs.
Nice, and of course, once it's in the packaging, it goes up. So yeah, you have to consider that as well.
That's it.
Cool. That was short and sweet, guys. We're now coming to the point where we have this. Love to show you some of the legacy work we've done before, and that is the rest of the Diorama line. Those that may have ordered and have on their shelves displays Sonic Generations and Sonic on Tornado would like to see how they look together. So why don't we do that, Trox? Do you want to I'll just remove this here, and then remove this one over here. And do you want us to lift that up and I'll pull out the Lazy Susan out of the way?
All right. There you go.
Okay. Put that down there. Let's bring that further back.
Further back, so you can see the whole base.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Okay, so that is that. And why don't you bring in Generations and I bring in.
Yeah, Robotic is laughing at us.
Well, we can always. My man!
Yeah.
There we go, guys. Alright, bring him in. Same level.
Like so?
There you go. Yeah. Just bring him over there.
Straight like
Just sort of. Just sort of.
Are you okay?
Right, yeah.
Any more space?
Maybe. Hold on. Sort of like that. Or maybe if I bring it back a bit. A little bit. Budge up a bit.
What? This way?
Yeah, just a little bit. And budge him across a little bit.
What about if you had the tornado facing sideways?
There you go. Bit of that. Why don't you have Generation slightly turning as well? Yeah, baby. There you go. That's better. Look, if I do that.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. And of course, these are the exclusive versions because that is what is up.
Yep.
I turn on my one. And you turn on your one.
My one is a bit bright here.
If on that side, you can see him, yeah. And let's turn on that one as well. Turn him there. Check it out, guys. And that, I'm sort of hiding behind here.
Yeah.
Come over here a bit.
You did? Oh, good.
Yeah, because he's quite tall, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's tall. And that, guys, is the classic diorama of the 25th anniversary. We have Generations over here, where you have obviously classic and you have modern, and you have the diorama of Sonic on the Tornado with Tails in the background here. You can really see that actually, in terms of size and footprint, they're very similar.
Yeah.
They're all part of the same series. Yes, of course you can see that the sizes of classic Sonic versus 25th anniversary Sonic, they're much, much smaller. So if you extrapolate that and you consider how big would it have been if we actually done 25th anniversary Sonic in the same scale as the classic dioramas that you see here on the Tornado and over here on Generations.
Yeah, this thing would be very tiny.
They're very, very small and not quite what we wanted. So when we considered that we were doing the Sonic classic Sonic, we went with that slightly bigger than 25th generation's Sonic, modern Sonic.
Modern Sonic.
Yeah, it's very slightly bigger, pretty similar, but very slightly bigger. But it was all about the overall feel of the Diorama series as a whole. Putting them all next to each other and having them sort of look great together was the fundamental reasoning with the size that we actually went with in the end.
That's cool, man. How many Sonics can you see here?
We got it on the Sonic side, yeah.
5, we've got what? No, we haven't got that. We've got Tails.
1, 2, yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Where's the magnet? And why not?
Yeah.
Have a 6 there as well.
At the front.
That's cool, man. When we do our Q&As, we should like have one of these each. At the front. Yeah, it looks actually nice.
And the other one.
That's Robotnik though. That's not Sonic.
We'll put one there.
But we're going for all Sonic.
The whole package.
Alright, okay.
The whole package.
I'll pass that to your side.
Is it on my side?
Yeah.
Alright.
Very big closer, that's it. Beautiful! Actually, it looks really nice and you get that. Of course, have that spinning as well. Not bad if I do say so myself, John. What do you think?
Just imagine the next one. If this does really well, the next Sonic diorama piece would be Tails. Let's say Tails is that high or something. Because you said it's a vertical piece.
Yeah, that's right. It would be.
It would be a vertical piece, so Tails would be like hovering here.
Yeah.
And grabbing, Sonic somewhere around here, this section here.
Hey, that's a whole nother video.
Yeah. And then you had the Robotnik in his machine somewhere up here.
What is up, guys?
Once we invented hovering resin.
Absolutely. Yeah, that really, actually, not bad if I say so myself. What do you think, Jocks?
I think Sonic would be proud of us.
I think so.
Yeah. Hope the Sonic fans would be very happy.
We really hope so as well. And we also wanted to say shout out to the Sonic community once again to apologize that we didn't get there in the end with the original one. That was a shame. Hopefully, understood the reasons why. And finally, we really hope that you understood. Hopefully, that you like this version of Sonic that we went for in the end. And of course, once again, we can't do any of this without your support. Really, really appreciate all of that. Chocks, where can they find us?
Where they can find us? Well, they can find us on Facebook, YouTube, First for Figures Official Collectors Club. We have our a YouTube channel as well. We have Twitter and Instagram. So we're always there in the Collectors Club every single day. So you can always PM myself or PM Alex. So the club is definitely right now. We definitely into Sonic. We made this video just in time, still celebrating the Sonic 25th birthday.
Perfect timing.
Perfect
timing.
I would say. Yeah, so definitely, I love this piece, especially the lights and the rotating goalposts. Yeah, it's definitely mesmerizing.
It's mesmerizing,
yeah,
definitely is.
Definitely.
It's going through the...
it's going through the...
speed version,
yeah?
Absolutely. Well then, I believe that's it, then that's a wrap. Would you agree?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see you very soon, maybe not... We don't want to wait 5 years until Sonic 30th, but
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah, keep supporting Sonic.
My man. Guys, I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Chuckles.
F4F is love.
F4F is life.
Peace!
Peace.